Hi, this is your application specialist, Adam Best at FREY Municipal Software. Today, I'll be demonstrating some great tips and tricks for the CHIPS Payroll System 21. This will be a wonderful opportunity for you to explore and learn how to get more value from your CHIP system. I have 8 items to share with you in today's demonstration. So let's get started. For our first tip and trick, we're going to look at user-defined pay types. Under General, user-defined pay types, you can see in here there's an ID change button. This can be helpful if you want to rename a user-defined pay type that's already set up in here, like we have Shift 3 set up in here, and we can use the ID button if we want to make that called night pay. So we're going to go ahead and click on ID change, and we can call it night pay, just like that. And we can press the OK button, and now it's changed the name to night pay. For the second tip and trick, we're going to use the distribution to GL report. And Bucks, we've always been able to do the @ sign as a wildcard character. And Chips 21, we can now do the same thing. So if we go into Payroll distribution to GL report, and we could go in here and do from and to dates like we've always done. And we can do it with account numbers. Now we could pick account numbers. And if we wanted to pick this account, we could, in this case, copy it and close it. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste it out there. And I'm going to replace the first 2 characters with an @ sign. So that way, if other funds use the same GL numbers, it will have the 2 different wildcard characters. So it could be 01 or 05 or something along those lines. And then the rest of the GL numbers would be the same for the wildcard characters. I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. And in this case, we only have 1 fund set up here. But if we had other funds set up, we'd be able to go through here, scroll through the report, and see all those different GL numbers with that. The third tip and trick we're going to look at is the employee rehire date. So if we go in here to Employees Employee Maintenance, we can pick any employee in here, and so we can see the date that they were hired, and we can see if they were rehired. So like in this case, if they had left the company and then they came back to the organization, we have the original date that they're hired, and then we can now put in the date that they're rehired. So we can have both dates in here in the system to when the employee rejoined the organization. For the fourth tip and trick, we're going to look at the workers' comp report. So that's up here under Reports Workers' Comp Report. We'd fill out the workers' comp report like we always have with workers' comp report class range. We could have pay date range and subtitle range. What's new on the report, when we open up the report here, is this employee count. Previously, this report only included dollar amounts. Including totals would benefit the user when needing to report how many employees are included along with the wage base. Each workers' comp report classification will include totals as well as grand totals. So here we have the totals. For this workers' comp, we only have one example in the demo here. And then we have grand totals down here. For the fifth tip and trick, we're going to look at accrual tables. Here, if we go up here to under General Accrual Tables, we can see the different accrual tables. The maximum hours have been moved in all the accrual tables from up here at the top of having 1 maximum hour to down here to each line has its own maximum. So that way we can go in here, and if we wanted to, between 0 and 12 months, maybe you're only allowed to have a maximum of 80 hours in there. And then after those 12 months, you can have, a different maximum. We can go into each one of these, like this is the example of the sick accrual table. We can also close out of here, and we can go to vacation accrual table. And it's the same thing here, that it's been moved down to each line. So each line can have its own maximum accruals. For the sixth tip and trick, we're going to go to SOC maintenance. And here, if we go to General SOC codes, the codes are available from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and Definition Documentation. Search for U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and job codes. In here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go add, and I'm going to make up a job code. I'm just going to enter in the information here, and I'm going to put in sample, and I'm going to go and press the OK button. And I made up my job code in here as a sample of the SOC code. And where that is available is if we go into employee maintenance dash employees, and on employee maintenance, there's this SOC code in here. You can click on here. You can add that code in here. You can also press the F7 button to be able to add SOC codes on the fly. You can press the OK button here. And then with those SOC codes, we'll be able to find those also in the advanced search feature. With advanced search, we go in here and we could go in here and we could search by SOC codes if we wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and close out of there. For the seventh tip and trick, we're going to look at global changes. When performing any global changes in CHIPS 21, the user can preview the results prior to processing. The new preview option allows the user to see the changes prior to processing and updating the information. So some of the information we're going to see is if we go in here to employees dash global change, and if we looked at maybe like the pay rate here, so I'm going to go ahead and click on pay rate to show this new example. And like if everybody is getting a 3% increase, I'm going to click on 3% for hourly employees and 3% for salary employees. And the pay rate history is going to be here, but right here we have this preview button. So when I click on the preview button here, we'll be able to see the employee number, the employee name, the department, the last raise date, the annual salary, payroll salary, regular rate, overtime rate, and specialty rate. And you see before and after changes. So I could go through and I could preview all of these changes, and I can make sure that I'm doing the correct information before I process any global change. Once everything looks good in here, I can go in here and press the OK button, but if for any reason you're unsatisfied with the information, you can press cancel. You can also print this information if you want to print it and review it before making the changes. But in this case, let's say if I was happy with the results, I can click on process. It's going to produce the report for me of showing me the before and after changes. For the eighth and final tip and trick, we're going to look at reports. Social Security numbers can now be suppressed from all reports. Employee Social Security numbers, we can go in here and we can have that option of when we go into any report here. Like if we go into the history report here, we can say suppress Social Security number. So that way it doesn't print on the report at all. I can pull that up and you can see where Social Security number should be, that it's not on there at all. And that's on every report. I can actually globally set that for any login. If I go under File, Utilities, and Security, and I'm logged in as the CHIPS user here for customers that have the option of being able to go into Security, I can click on Edit, and I can make that my default. Now that will take place the next time I log in. So I'm going to go ahead and close here. I'm going to open up CHIPS. I'm logging in as CHIPS. I'm going to go ahead, and now when I pull up that same report or any of the reports with Social Security numbers, my suppressed Social Security number is defaulted on there. This will automatically be checked on every report, and then that way I don't have to run a report and possibly forget to select that suppressed Social Security number. This concludes your CHIPS Payroll Release 21 Tips and Tricks presentation. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and picked up on many items that will enhance your daily CHIPS experience. If you have any questions over the material I covered in this presentation, Please don't hesitate to contact us at FREY at 1-800-659-3739. I repeat, that number is 1-800-637-39. I will be happy to assist you.